So in this video, I'm going to talk about God's love and how it could also be equivalent to light and how it is light. So when you turn away from God's love, there is an emptiness or a darkness. In the darkness, it can create pain, suffering, hate, etc., which we will get more into in a minute. So as God being the love and the light, there is unity with all. We are children of God and also small beams of God's light, which is not our bodies, but our souls. So that's why sometimes we strive to keep our bodies more healthy and, stuff like that. So God has free will, and so do us. Humans also have free will. And in that free will, we can choose whether to follow His will or our own will. If we did not have our own free will, we would be very much like robots and life would be meaningless. Another reason that is why our goal should be to become divine and holy like God. So we also try to live in unison with God's will. And when you don't, there's separation and darkness. There's no room for sin in heaven. I'm keeping my voice down because T is sleeping, that's why, because I'll be talking louder. So where was I? So when you turn away from God's love, there's darkness. So in God's will is in unison with all, if I hadn't said so. So when you try and do your own will, you become not in unison with all and not in unison with God's love. That's why God wishes none to be destroyed and for everyone to live forever. So when you're doing your own will, it's the beginning of the me thinking or your will versus God's will. We can compare this to an orchestra singing a beautiful symphony, and then a few members all of a sudden start playing their own music. Then it would not be harmonious with the whole symphony. So when you turn away from God and do your own will, you're blocking the light, and there's darkness. And so in there's fear, separation, loathing, selfishness. Selfishness increases because then everything becomes a question for your own survival and wants. So then you find different other energy sources because you're empty, your emptiness inside. There's the two major actions in life from birth. One is giving love and the other is crying out for love. That's the two major actions since birth through your whole life. You're either giving love or crying out for it. So when you're a baby, you're crying out for love, and then your mother or caretaker giving love. And this process is throughout life and has to be repeated for life. So in the darkness, you're craving for attention that you can't get from the light source of God and God's love. So you start creating your own, which is usually not good from good places. So you're trying to get maybe attention or praise, recognition in any form possible, maybe even down to outright fighting or wars. So all aggressions, hate, lust, greed, envy, jealousy, they're all battles for energy from feeling emptiness in the darkness. So turn back to God and the light of unity, God's love, and turn away from selfish thinking that leads to more darkness.